We are previewing Week 2 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Scott Kellen from 6 Sense Sports right now. And Scott, another game you want to talk about was the Jets at the Steelers. And this game, I just have one note, one single note that I wrote to myself that I want you to answer. Jets offense, are they for real?
Yeah, I think they might average like 48 points a year this year, like they did last week. I have no idea. I mean, that's the unknown here, right? The Jets, to me, are still a complete unknown. Everyone thought they were going to flop last week because I don't think they scored a touchdown in the preseason until the fourth game, and their third-string units in there. And then they rattled off 48 points last week, 34, I think, which were on offense. Who knows, right? And they still are an unknown. And this play for me, and I like the Jets in this game. It's more of a systematic play for me more than anything. But I think I can defend the play, and there are some injury situations out there. Revis is questionable, and I would certainly want him to be playing if I'm going to play the Jets. But the Jets for me qualify in a couple situations. One's a early season situation that's 187, 104, and 10. But they also qualify, or I should say, really Pittsburgh qualifies in a negative fundamental rushing situation that's 134, 70, and 8, and been very good over the years. It plays against Pittsburgh, and typically, I'm a situational handicapper. When I get a fundamental situation lining up with a technical situation, that's a pretty good situation. So what we've got here is the Jets as a dog, a good defense, getting a bunch of points. I like that. I think that all makes sense. And the Jets a couple years ago came to Pittsburgh and won 22-17. They lost that same year in the AFC Championship game, but it was a 24-19 final. I think that game they fell way behind early and then kind of scratched and clawed their way back. But they still lost by only 5 points, which is essentially within the number here. And Pittsburgh has really struggled against good teams. Last year at home, they did defeat New England 25-17. They lost to Baltimore 20-23 on a last-second play. The year before, they beat Atlanta by only 6 at home, basically saying a good team that Atlanta was. They lost to Baltimore by 3. They lost to New England by 13. That same year was the year that they lost to the Jets by 5. So, as I've said in the past with Pittsburgh, their defensive numbers, I think, a lot of times are built up based on them dominating weak teams. But when they go against good teams, they struggle a little bit more. And James Harrison might not play in this game. Now it looks like Troy Polamalu is questionable. We'll see what happens there. But those would be 2 huge losses, obviously, if they can't play. The Jets' offense last week, 9.9 yards a pass. Who knows what they'll really end up being this week. But Pittsburgh's offense was not great against a pretty good Denver defense last week. They averaged under 3 yards a rush, under 5 yards a pass, and 4 yards a play. So I'm not really sold on their offense yet. They're going to be playing a good defense. They're giving up a bunch of points, and the situations favor the Jets. I'm going to lean towards the Jets plus the points here.
Makes sense to me. Great analysis. And, of course, you were spot on with Pittsburgh last week, so I hope you are again. I might tail that one. Thanks, Scott.